Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lavender Water Podcast. This is your host, Matthew Williams, and today I am being joined by my guest, Jordan Lamb. Is that how you pronounce
Hi, everyone. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
it? All right, all right. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Just enduring this Georgia heat.
Oh, you live in Georgia? Like, how hot is it compared to Florida, do you think? Because it gets pretty hot in Florida.
I feel like Florida might be the hotter one.
Yeah, I think so too. It's like, it's heat. It's really hot. I'm just gonna just take my word for it.
Yeah, I've been down there a couple times for Orlando studios and stuff. Um, it's like I've seen like when it rains, it'll rain for like 5 minutes, and then like after that, it's like it never rains.
Yeah, yeah, but a couple like these last few weeks, it's been raining though, so that's cool, I guess. But how does it like? Is it raining in Georgia? How's the weather down there?
It rained like a couple weeks ago all week, but then lately it's just been like a heat wave.
Okay, okay. So I want to ask you this, if I'm being real. Are you
Okay.
in your place, like in life right now? Are you happy?
I'd say I'm content, but I'm not happy. Like I'm not where I want to be, but I'm steadily working towards it.
And so what would make you happy?
Stability.
Like a stable, high paying job to support the family in?
I'm the kind of guy, ultimately, I don't want a job, so to speak. Like, I don't want to work for someone else. Like, I'd rather, if I'm going to do the capitalism game, then I'd rather create my own thing and live that way.
Okay, okay. So it goes beyond just money.
Yeah, it's just like to do what I want to do with my time. That's what I value the most in life.
Okay, okay. So how define happiness? Let's start off with that. Right.
I
Like,
guess
like, how do you define it?
I guess my definition of happiness is to not be worried about, like things like how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to pay for this to stay on? How am I going to eat? Where's the next money coming from? Are my friends and family happy? Like just harmony really is like just no chaos or as a small amount of chaos as possible living as possible.
Okay. So like equilibrium, you want balance, everyone
Yeah.
peace. Okay. Okay. But do you think if there were to be happiness, there has to be the opposite, like anger, like sadness and all that?
Of course, it's a reality of duality.
Right. Right. And so explain like how you are content.
All my needs met. Like you ever played The Sims?
Yeah, great game.
So like they're meters. Like like you got to talk to your friends. You got to eat. You got to use the bathroom. You got to wash your body. You got to go to work. You got to have fun. You got to get your intelligence up. Like just all my meters filled. Like all the things I want in a day. Like oh, I'm hungry. Okay, really good food. There for me. You know what I'm saying? or oh, I want to take a vacation. Boom, like it's no question. It's like I got to save up for it, or I can just go. You know what I'm saying? Like just all the doors that are closed right now just open at will. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
content.
yeah. So would you say you're satisfied for the time being? Though, do you feel like this feeling at the back of your mind, like you could have more, like you're hungry for to be even more happy?
Hmm. So like how I'm living is not how I want to live. It's like I have to learn to be happy in the moment. So it's like
Hmm.
you could boil it down to, well, the fact is that you made yourself happy in the situation, so why can't you just be satisfied with that happiness? You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's kind of like it's a how they say toxic happiness where it's like you have to derive pleasure from a really crazy situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you
Hmm.
can make you can make living on the streets look good or whatever, or happy or positive, but it's like you're still on the streets though. Like that's no way to
Yeah.
live. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's I guess the catch 22 is like yeah, I'm not in a dark place where it's like, oh, I want to hurt myself or others, or I want to inflict evil on the world or nothing because I'm not where I want to be. But it's like if I can have a better situation, I'm going to get that better situation.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. It's always like, you know, I think it's ingrained in us as like humans just to always strive for more. Um, so let me ask you this. Do you think success equates to happiness?
I think success aids happiness. I don't think it is happiness because there's people that are doing things that, in some people's definition of success, that's success. But it's like it doesn't mean that they're going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen it's like my mom used to watch like all these like cold case forensic murder type shows and stuff. So it's like story of this football player, like he had millions and millions of dollars playing football, but like he intentionally went to like a grocery store and like was shooting his gun at people to try to get the death sentence or something. And as a kid I'm looking at him like, why he got all that money? Like do whatever he wants to do. Like what why can't he just be happy he's got the money and lifestyle? It's like it's just internally there's just something deeper wrong, what I'm saying, that money can't fix it, you know what I'm saying? So I never looked at it like, if I was rich, I'd be the happiest person in the world because there's miserable rich people and I used to live around them.
Yeah, yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying. So if money doesn't play a factor, what do you think it really comes down to?
The opening of those doors, man, instead of when I jiggle the knob, I can't go in there. I gotta be able to go in there, you know what I'm saying? If I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? That's how I look
Yeah.
at it. Is like, because there's people out here that don't worry about how am I going to keep my phone on for the next month. Like, I gotta either eat or, be on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? People gotta reach me or whatever. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like if those unnecessary stresses were relieved, it gives you more time to focus on yourself and being happy and what I'm saying, instead of like, oh man, I gotta do extra, I gotta not sleep and go to work extra to get more money and then I spend the money on just being alive at the minimum, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just if it's like going back to the Sims. The game is easier when you have the Similonians.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like they got their whole career going and they're not hungry and they showered and all that. So then their mood goes up and then they get like happier and green. Yeah, totally. I get it. I get it. But how much of it would you say, or let me rephrase it this way. Do you think society has played a big role in shaping how we view happiness too?
Yeah, for sure. I think like Disney is a big contributor to how we feel about happiness. Just based on it's like all most of their narratives are based on like romantic relationships. So it's like person struggling until they met this person and now they're in love and now life is just so much better. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think it kind of ingrained this like, oh, if I find the love of my life, that's when I'll be happy or something like that. You know what I'm saying? The fairy tale ending.
No, yeah, yeah. What advice would you give a college student who's like depressed, or just any young adult, you know?
Uh, to go get some help, the help that they need, seek it. Um, whether it's professional or someone in your community that knows something about it, just you can't remedy a situation unless you acknowledge the problem. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
once you acknowledge the problem and act on it, then usually it comes into play, and comes into fruition of how to fix it or treat it. So there's people out here that went to school for years and years to help you.
No, yeah. Get some help. Or it's like what Michael Jordan said in that ad. Get some help. Let me
I think
ask you this.
real quick.
Oh,
I think
sorry.
it's
Go
a big
on.
thing in society is that people kind of feel ashamed to ask for help or feel like they need other people. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the stigmas that go with being the person that's always asking for something. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's hard for people to come out of themselves to be like, yeah, I need assistance. I can't do it by myself. Like if you need help, you gotta be able to. You know what I'm saying? They said, closed mouths never get fed.
Yeah, I think people need to not be afraid to ask for help, because I think it comes from shame or pride sometimes, depending on the situation. But like people shouldn't be afraid to ask for help, because I think like asking for help, 9 times out of 10, they're not like that. Someone's not going to be a dick if you ask for help. I don't know if I can swear, but I just swore, so my bad. But
It's an explicit podcast.
yeah, it's like, who's gonna shit on you for asking for their help? Or we all go through rough patches and have bad moods or just like rough stages in life. So I don't think anyone should be like care or like be judged on asking for help, because that's what they're there to do. They're helping you. Or if you're a decent human being, you're gonna be cool with helping, I feel like.
Yeah, it's really what God tells us to do is to help one another, love one another, as if that person was ourselves. So, you treat people how you want to be treated, and the love will go around. But capitalism, it's a different language encoded into the human DNA now. So it's like people way people look at it is, oh, go out there and get your own, get a job, and as we see in this economy, everything's rising up, everything's more expensive, but the money's not going up, that people are earning. So
Yeah.
it leaves a lot of people in a devastating position. And the people who once would turn people away, like, oh, go get a job, oh, you're broke, oh, they're going to be the people that are asking for help in private, though, because, they were so boastful to let you know, oh, you can't borrow $10. Oh,
Yeah. I like when money enters the equation, I feel like it makes everything um more complicated. Not because like when you ask someone for help, you ask your friend for help, and they you're helping them out of a tough spot, right? Right. But it's
Mm.
like when they ask for $10, I'm like, you gonna pay me back though? Like, cause I'm more stingy. I feel like, but you have to like think about the money, whether you're gonna get it back, but you also have to think about your friendship. So there's like two things. But if there was no money involved, if he was like, "Can I get a ride?" or something, I'll be like, "Yeah, yeah," or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like,
Yeah, I feel you. Like I understand. Like it's just the thing of money's not the easiest resource for your average person to come across. So it's like if the money was gold, like would you take this shiny metal and just give it out? Like, yeah, let me get some of that gold. Oh yeah, for sure. Here you go. Yeah. Like wait, like that was like $2,000 of gold right there. Like, you know.
yeah, yeah. That gold does not come cheap. Like I worked hard for this, but I, it's so, I don't know. I feel like nowadays, or maybe it's just me, like people don't do things for the goodness out of their own heart. It's more like they want something in return. Like say business, right? You network with other people because they have something, or they have services that they can do that you cannot do. So if you work together, you could help grow each other, right? It's for a mutual benefit. But you're not doing that because you're friends, like, whereas like it's just complicated, as I grow up, I think of friendships and how like it changes. Like, like to succeed, to grow, you really have to say, what can I offer to this other person, whether it's like a resource or service or whatever, like trade.
Mm.
Like you have to get smarter with that. But I mean, like I'm not talking about everyone. I'm talking about like I guess with strangers, that's what I'm getting at. You don't like, because I don't think anyone really trusts each other. Like, because it's like The Sims, right? Like, your neighbors, you live in a neighborhood, right? But you talk to them, I guess you can, but are you going to do things to them out of the goodness of your own heart? Or, because, I don't know, in my neighborhood, I don't talk to my neighbors. All right, we all do our own thing. It's like, cool. Like, we're not going to be friends yet. I don't know about the future, but I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, I get what you're saying. Like it's 'cause in my eyes, it's a byproduct of capitalism, whereas like everything is an exchange. Like every single thing, everything is like, what are you gonna do for me? How are you gonna pay me back? How are you gonna make me feel like that was worth my while? You know what I'm saying? Everyone is a walking business, and when you really think about it, when you're born in the United States and issued a social security number, technically on that document with your name in all capitals, you're like a business. Like you're not even a person. Like you're a legal entity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's really ingrained in our society that it's transactional. Like I'm not gonna say it's rare, but it's like it's really surprising to see when someone just does something because it was just something good to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, without like expecting anything else in return. Like, say you're at a gas station, right? You see someone pumping gas into their car, and then you offer them like money for them to pay for their gas. They're probably the person you're giving the money to, they're gonna be wary. They're gonna be like, "Why are you giving me money?" Expecting you're doing it for an ulterior motive. When in reality, you could just be trying to be a good guy, just like, cause whatever, like times are tough. gas prices are too damn high. All right, and like it's just crazy. I just feel like it's, I don't know, maybe it's been a long time since people have been able to just be good people. Maybe there was a time when people didn't have to lock their front doors or something like that. I don't know. That might be a time way before my 21 years of living. But now we live in an age where everything's locked. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I just like, where do you think we're headed? Just like, I guess, ask people, do you think we're ever gonna be like toward a happier place?
What you mean, me and you as individuals, or like us as a society?
Just us as a society.
I think something crazy has to happen that kind of like makes it collapse or something, and then when it gets rebuilt, then there's gonna be some kind of ideal or something. You know what I'm saying? Like out of a futuristic dystopian utopia novel, like it's like, oh, the Great War, and then society, everyone in society was a super genius, and they could do telekinesis, and you know what I mean, like something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know, but as it stands, I think if people were able to take care of themselves, with better mechanics and an economy that allows them to go to work for this amount of time and pay for everything smoothly without it like, wow, like I just went to work for 3,000 hours this week and I still can't pay my rent and now I need to buy food, and you know what I'm saying? Like if we lived in a country where you went to work and at the minimum, even at the minimum wage, you could still maintain a lifestyle, I think we could focus on happiness.
Maintaining a lifestyle, do you think, you think maintaining a lifestyle could come to happiness in the long run?
Yeah, I think if you don't have to worry about bills getting paid, you don't have to worry about, making so much money to do this one thing or prevent something from being shut off or something. It gives you more space to be like, hey, let me go play in a coloring book. Let me go build a Lego set. Let me, do recreational things, you know what I'm saying? Instead of constantly be at work and still not afford life.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. I think also happiness, like, it's different for everyone, because you might meet a homeless person who's like really happy, or you can meet like someone addicted to work and just be happy, or even like everyone's definition of happiness is different.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. But what in your opinion is or maybe we already touched on this, but what is peak happiness? Like, do you think if you had all the money in the world, you got everything taken care of, like, would you be truly happy? Although if nothing like bad happens, is that happiness, would you say it's like still rings true, or is it because bad things happen and that we overcome them, that's how much value like happiness has, because it's increased by the bad things that happened to us, and now we overcame them, and now it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. I think, yeah, that's like another thing of happiness is, going through the peaks and valleys, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like you're saying, is everyone's definition of happiness is different. Like You know what I mean? Like an ideal happy day in my life is, oh, I wake up, I got all the weed I want to smoke. Oh, I got all the good food around me. Oh, I'm by the beach. Oh, I'm creating. I don't have to worry about, oh, I got to spend 8, 12, 16 hours working for someone else. I can do what I want to do. I got a nice car. You know, I can go where I want when I want to go. I can take a flight. I could, you know, build up another business venture. Like it's just freedom. Happiness is freedom to me.
Mhm. Mhm. No, I can see that. Yeah. Being able to go anywhere at your own time. No, yeah,
Yeah,
I can see that.
yeah. Ultimately, I don't like when 100% of my time is my time. That's when I'll be happy.
Yeah, and not working for anyone else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I respect that. Yeah. So, like, what would it take to get to that level? Like, would you own a business?
Currently, building a clothing brand, and it's I'm trying to stretch it out to the record label, uh, movie, streaming service. It's a lot of things in the air that in the background, but it's like yeah, ultimately it would come from running a business and putting it out there and grinding the right way to get it where it needs to be.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And do you think it's better to work for success, like work hard, go on a long journey, and then you reach success, and then that like aids you in being like the happiest, or being born into like money? Would you be happy then? Or like
See,
which one would you rather?
I think it goes. It's kind of like going how you said when the bad things happen and you overcome. That's when you reach the happiness, or you can derive the happiness from it. And I think it's better to go on the journey and then come out like, ah, I did it, instead of because being born with money, that's a whole different. That's actually a struggle. People won't believe it, but it's a whole different struggle that you never really learn how to be a. Well, I don't say you never like. There's good people that have money, and there's terrible people that have money. There's good people that don't have money, and there's terrible people that don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like it's harder, and I think the Bible says it too. It says it's hard. It's easier to pull a camel through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich person to get into heaven. And what I think I understand from people who are born in the suburbs, come from you know upper middle class homes, they're kind of terrible people because they don't struggle. You know what I'm saying? They never had that dilemma of electric bill or water bill. We eating 3 dinners this week and paying the phone bill, or are we not paying the phone bill and eating? Are we, you know what I'm saying? Like, never have to have that conflict. It's just like, oh, everything's on auto pay. Well, I never worry about that. You should try it sometime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just different things. So it's like when you don't go through the trenches, so to speak, then it's like you don't get those values from, oh man, we persevered through this crazy struggle. It's like, no, we went to uh Texas Roadhouse, and my dad, he paid the bill for 60 people. It was pretty cool. Like you don't get the same experiences. Like, you usually have to lose it as a rich kid or get cut off to experience the real world and how people really are,
Yeah.
So I
Yeah, I
wouldn't I wouldn't
getcha.
I wouldn't want to be born rich. It just, what I'm saying, at that point, now you're just like, you have to understand who you are. And it's like, because of the luxury and all that, and you kind of grow to attach yourself to it, then it's hard to break away from it and be like, oh, what I'm saying? It's like the story of the Buddha. The Buddha, like, got to a point, he was like going around begging for like one bowl of rice, and that's what he eats for the day. I think sometimes like 1 grain of rice, something stupid. But like he was like making himself struggle, make himself like be out there with the people because he was a prince most of his life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had never left the palace walls, and then when he did, he seen people sick, broke, hungry, dying in the streets, smelly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think the journey is the most important thing, and you get the happiness along the way. You know what I'm
Right. It's about the journey, not the destination.
saying? Yep.
Plus, they don't like if you were born into money, you don't really have any stories about the struggle. You know, you can't really relate to any like 99% of all the other people in the world. You only get to talk to other rich people, I guess. And this is like being a child actor, I feel like, right? You grow up, you play in a character in a TV show, whatever. Then you grow up, you have all this attention on you. And then when you're an adult, you just don't have that same attention anymore because you're all grown up and you're not like, you don't play in those shows anymore because you are an adult, you know? So I feel like if you don't have the same, the struggle mentality, that's what I'm going to call it, the whole struggle, like the come up, you know, what it was like. If you don't know what it was like to have no money, but then work really hard for it, and then you get money, then success, I think that's also like, it just feels so much better too when you actually get that money. And you're just, you look back on your journey and you're like, that was crazy. I can't believe I did that. Damn. Wow. I'm amazing.
Right. Yeah. I think that's why like the kids that come from money that go out and do big things, they got to do them extra big because it's like you already had the support. So yeah, makes sense that you make $1 trillion company. Yeah, you should be doing that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like, what are the next steps for you
Oh man,
in your journey?
the next steps is hmm really getting capital really for the business to market and to have real clothes on hand because the way I do it now is like print on demand, so it's like only when the piece is ordered is when it's created, which is like you would say it's for the ecological system, but just to not have like thousands of shirts sitting somewhere that don't ever sell. So to get capital, uh, create awareness by doing pop-up shops across the country and then a couple foreign locations, and really like optimize the website experience. There's this technology, it's called Matterport. So basically, with a pop-up shop, I would fill the space with my clothing, give it the brand's wallpaper and stuff like that. Just make it the experience. And then with Matterport, you basically capture the room, and then it allows you to online walk in the room. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you be able to tag clothes and then sell clothes with this interactive experience. So that's like really what I want to do as far as the clothing brand next.
That's what's up. That's awesome. I mean, you got my vote.
Well, I appreciate you.
No, yeah, man. I mean, as long as you keep doing it, you will reach success. I think that applies to everything, everyone. You know, I don't know when you started it. When did you start it?
2019. That's when I made
Okay.
the Shopify, and then I got the LLC in 2020.
Okay. So we're still young. You know, we're still young into the journey. I feel
Yeah.
like all the successful people, they've been doing it for decades. So it's like, we just gotta keep grinding, just keep going. Eventually, we'll be there.
We will be there.
Yeah, I guess to wrap it all up, I guess I'm also, I'm not really content, but I'm still hungry. I'm still hungry on this. I'm on my own journey. I'm just trying to, I don't know, truly try and find happiness, like, to me. But yeah, that's pretty much
Let me
all
let, let me ask
me.
you, on your journey, would you say that you're alone on your journey?
I honestly, yes, I would say I am alone on my journey to happiness. Because everyone else's definition of happiness, my friends, my family, it's not my happiness, and I
Right.
know that for sure. You know.
So I'm gonna hit you with the story of the silver refiner, and I guess that's how we'll cap this one off. Um, do you know the story of the silver refiner?
No, I never heard of it.
Okay, so essentially, it's basically like a thing with God and how He tests the people that He loves, or concentrates on them in a sense. So the parable is like this woman. She's asking this dude who refines silver for a living. How do you know when you're done with your process? So refining silver is meaning to remove the impurities out of the silver to make it as shiny and valuable as possible. So the silver refiner is like, so you have your fire, what I'm saying, and you put your little mask on, what I'm saying, with so you hold the silver with your tongs or whatever, and you hold it in the hottest part of the fire, and you're staring at it, and I think it's for hours, and basically, the whole time the impurities are being burned out of it, and not a moment before and not a moment after, when the silver refiner can see his reflection in the silver has been refined. So with God, this is, you're in a trial, what I'm saying? You're in a test. You're going
Hmm.
through the obstacle course, what I'm saying? And God is watching, what I'm saying? God has eye on you, especially you, what I'm saying? God is watching at all times, everybody and everything. But on you, during your time right now, this is called the refinery period. And not a moment sooner and not a moment later, when God can see his image in you, is he done with you.
He's watching me.
Yeah.
A So I'm this refinery period. I'm like, what is that? What does that really mean? Like, what is it? Like, am I like in the journey?
Yeah.
Is that what it means? Okay,
Yeah. It's like who you start out as is not who you come out on the other side as.
interesting. So I could be a totally different person by the end of it.
Yeah. The people who once knew you, they might not recognize you, even though you're the same person on the outside. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a journey that it evolves you.
I look forward to it. That's
That's
all I
really
can
good.
really say. You know.
I mean, it's all about growth, and to be successful, you gotta be a better form of yourself, like in every aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like the most successful people, they have good habits in life. You know what I'm saying? And success is not a one and done thing. It is a repeated act. It's a
Yeah.
habit. You know what I'm saying? It's something you keep doing. So never get lax, never, you know, take your foot off the gas. Just keep pushing for what you believe in and what you want to make happen with your life to create your happiness.
I'll take those words to heart. Yeah, I will keep doing my thing because it really is to just the key is to keep doing it. Like build that discipline, just do it over and over, and then eventually I will probably become an entirely different person if I compare that future time to now my present time. Yeah, all I can say
Yes,
is,
sir.
yes, sir. Let's go. Look forward to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Lavender Water Podcast. I have been your host, Matthew Williams, and this has been my special guest, Jordan Lamb. We're going to catch you another time. Peace.
Peace.